Oh, good afternoon, Team Beast. For those of you joining us for the very first time, thank you for clicking on Beast Capacity Outdoors. I'm your leader, Team Beast, Daddy Beast, and this is a quick rundown of the lemon wine I've made, or I'm making, in process of, thereof. Okay, so in the last video I had to, because it's just me, I don't have a video operator today or nothing that could do this for me while I work through stuff and all that. So this will probably be a little quick. I'm going to do a little tasting here. And I'm a little leery about it. Not in the sense that it's bad or anything like that. It's just, it's a very, very young wine. Meaning this is like 2.5 weeks old from the time I made it into a must, into it fermenting out. Because it is fermented out. It's at 1.00, so it's eaten all the fermentable sugars that was given to it. So I'm sure it'll be dry but wet, not like pucker mouth dry. It smells kind of footy, and that's because it's young. And footy means that sulfur smell you get from like rotten eggs. Does not mean the wine's bad. It's young. I can smell the phenols coming off of it. Phenols are the alcohol. The alcohol vapors and smells and esters coming off of it. It is lemony. It does smell lemony. Almost smells Myers lemonish. And I didn't use Myers lemons. I used just regular, normal, everyday lemons. Didn't use the Meyer ones. Although I'm probably going to be using the ones from our tree outside for the next batch. This is the test run to see if we like the mouthfeel and all that from it. I'm going to do another run of this, but I'm going to do a mead style. This one was sugar and honey, so we'll see how it went. And this was a dozen lemons. This is for 1 gallon. This was a dozen lemons, a tea bag, 2 bananas, and one other skins, 3/4 of one of the skins. Yes, I did say skins of the banana. And I did say 2 bananas in this lemon wine. And then the juice, the juice of the 12 lemons, the rind of the lemon, not, I just squeezed them and put them in a strainer pot. And we took the water up to boil. And as soon as it boiled, turn it down to a simmer. So turn it down to the simmer level or low. Threw the 2 bananas, the skin, and 3/4 of one skin in. Yes, they were washed. Everything was sanitized. Threw the lemon juice in. Threw the rinds in of it. These were the lemons that have a very thin pith layer, and their skins are a little bit thicker. Almost like Myers, but less pith. And then a half a cup, 3/4 cup of sugar, and 1 lemon ginger tea bag went into, and that the tea bag and the banana peel gives it tannins, gives the wine tannins, helps with the mouthfeel and stuff like that in the body. The bananas are supposed to help with the body of the wine and the overall mouthfeel of everything. It's part of the reason why it is a little cloudy. It's not all that clear. There is some, yeah, you see some floaties in here. That's pulp from the lemon. I didn't get all of it strained up, but I did not leave the rinds on it. We left it in the boil pot for probably about a half an hour, 45 minutes to steep out till it cooled off. Oh, that was a bird just hit the window. It flew away though, so it should be okay. Strained it off, put it all into the 1 gallon carboy. Put it into a 1 gallon carboy. And put the airlock on, or screwed the lid back on it. This is a 1 gallon glass jug from Sprouts. It's the organic apple cider that we get. It runs $8, and you get good apple cider from it. It's made with Honeycrisp apples, and yeah, it's very good. Unfiltered, organic, and it's good apple juice or apple cider. But I use the jugs afterwards for my carboys. For jugs like this, for those you don't know, that are getting into home brewing on the low end, go to Sprouts, go somewhere that's got the 1 gallon, US 1 gallon glass jugs, and find a local brew supply, or go online to like More Beer or Northern Brewer, something like that, homebrew.com or something like that, and grab a 3-piece airlock, which is the one I have here. It's the easiest one to work with for beginners. You fill it up to a certain line, and then drop the piston piece in place, put the cap on it, put it in the bung, and the drilled bung, and put it in the jar. Now, there are different size bungs, which is the rubber piece right here at the top. That's a bung. This one's a universal made silicone rubber bung, or silicone bung. You can get the solid rubber with it's been pre-drilled for the airlocks. You want a number 6.5 for the 1 gallon jugs. Those will fit for that, and those you can find them at More Beer for like 99 cents each for the 6.5s. The airlocks I think are $1.29 to $2, so it's not bad. And then you want to buy a yeast, and I used what used to be called Montrachet yeast by Red Star. Now it's called Red Classique or something like that. It's a red package of yeast from Red Star. Most brew houses have it, or brew supplies. I know More Beer has it, and I think it's $1.29 for a packet. I used one of those. So I let it get to temp about 6. Yeah, it took a little while, about 60 minutes for it to cool down to about 75, 80 degrees, probably more around 80 degrees. And then what I did is I added honey, 1.5 pounds of honey to it. So it's kind of a mead, but kind of not. I mean, there's honey in it as the sweetener. So it's like a mellow or whatever, a fruit-based mead, but I had sugar in it as well, and I really wouldn't consider this a mead. Usually I put 2 3/4 to 3 pounds of honey in to a 1 gallon mead. So 1.5 pounds is basically just a sweetener aspect of it to add a little more, a little more flavored sweetness as a flavor profile. So And then so once it was down to about 80, like I said, about 80 degrees, I put it in a funnel. Used the funnel, poured it in to the 1 gallon carboy. In a small glass, I took a quarter cup of honey and warm water from the tap, just hot water from the tap, and stirred it up really good, incorporating that honey. And while this was still cooling down a little bit, because it was a little too hot to the touch still, so it was probably more like 90 degrees when I put it in the bottle. If you can hold your hands on the bottle, glass bottle, like this, and just hold it there, and it's comfortable, it's warm, but it's not hot, and you can leave it there for a long, long time, you're about 80 degrees and you're good to go. So I pitched the yeast into the half a cup of water with the honey in it to rehydrate it. You don't have to. You can pitch it right in here, but I do it a different way. Everybody does their own technique how they do stuff. This is how I do mine. And so I put it in there. 20 minutes later, it's foaming. It's good. It almost fills the cup. It starts it very good. Gets it hungry, gets it eating. I didn't have to put any acid blends in this. I used 2 different types of acid blends just to bring the pH up a little bit to get it going. I try not to use DAP or diammonium phosphate as a nutrient. I like to go with the golden raisins from Sunshine. Those are pretty good. Chop them up so they don't plump up and float. They'll sink. And so once I was able to hold the bottle, comfortably for a long time, I just, okay, it's ready to go. Pitching the yeast means pouring it in. And then shook it up really good because you want to get oxygen into the liquid. So the one time you really want oxygen is for the first day or two. And then if you got a vigorous fermentation, because mine started about 30-40 minutes after pitching the yeast, the bubbler was already pistoning up and down from fermentation happening. And then it fermented out in a week. I have right here, I have a little bit over a 12% alcohol, which is good. I don't have to worry too much about this turning into vinegar. About 10% is where those enzymes start to die off that turn this to vinegar. If too much oxygen gets to it. So I did crash and put the yeast to sleep today when I just racked this off with a racking cane. And that's a tube that you basically that's like siphoning gas from a tank. And you put it in, suck, and go, okay, a racking tube. And to get it off what's called lees, which is the spent yeast hulls that sink to the bottom. And that's to keep it from getting any off flavors, which I should have probably taken this off probably a few days ago instead of waiting for the weekend, end of the weekend. I can smell kind of a breadiness to it. And that's something that the yeast would do. Now, Montrachet or Classique Red and Premier Cuvée, I think that's what it is. It's a yellow packet. One of the yellow packets of champagne yeast. They're very neutral and very hardy, strong fermenters. And that's what I like using. The Classique Red or Montrachet packs the lees down at the bottom a little tighter than the Premier does. So you lose a little bit more. But that's why I fill mine up a little higher. I save some of the liquid. I make it just over a gallon. I'll save that. I'll bring it up to the gallon. So when the Krausen forms, which is the foam and the scuzz and all that, that'll come up from fermentation. I'll wait for that to pass. And it usually takes a day or two. the very active, I'll shake it, get some of the gas off the CO2 off the liquid. That'll help let the yeast eat some more, get it more active again. Because if you leave your must laden with CO2, which is basically the waste excrement, the shit that comes off of yeast from eating sugar, it'll inundate and make the yeast sleepy and not want to eat as much. So shake it a little bit, not too much. You don't have to vigorously shake it. You're not going to introduce any oxygen to it. You just want to kind of swirl it, shake it a bit, get it moving, get this yeast to suspend again. It'll off gas a little bit and get some of that and get them going again. So, but yeah, this one sat out for about 9 days before it stopped pisting. Before it stopped, while the piston goes up and down. It was about 9 days before the piston just kind of it's just sitting there, unless I tap it or shake it a little, then I go dunk dunk, and it ends. So I kind of figured it was done. Checked it, with measured. I did a test with my beaker and stuff, and took measurement, and checked it, and it was at 1.00, which means it's kind of pretty much done. But waited a few more days, and today took another measurement, and it was still 1.00. So it's done. It's just what little bubbling it does do is just off gassing, which is fine. So, oh shoot, I'm running a little long on this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know if I really want to taste it yet but I got to taste it now so I know what I want to do to it later. Am I going to want to add brown sugar? Am I going to want to add honey for the back sweetening? Or am I going to want to do a little bit of lemon juice and brown sugar as my sweetener, kind of thing. And then of course thyme. Thyme's gonna make it a lot better. Thyme always does. The phenols will settle out. The flavors will meld together more. Well, it mainly smells alcoholish. Very alky. Ooh, not bad. It's definitely a lemon citrus wine. It is Cabernet Sauvignon dry. It's sweet, very, very, very mild lemonade flavor. It's astringent. Gives you a little tingly bite on the tongue. Mouthfeel is not bad at all. And I don't like dry wines at all. I really don't. Do not like dry wines. I used to. I used to love Cabernet, but I'm more, the sweeter wines. I like Merlot. I like dessert wines. Mead. I'll drink mead forever. This ain't too bad. I think I'll come back to this in a couple weeks. It smells footy, but it's not. It's kind of it's probably the phenols. So I'm going to end this because we're at 20 minutes. I'm going to end this pretty soon here. Wow. It's crazy. It's a hard lemonade. It's a dry, hard lemonade. It's almost like Mike's hard lemonade, but not as sweet. So it's dry. Mike's is a little dry, but theirs is sweet. You get the distinctive sweet, sugary sweet kind of flavor with Mike's. This could probably use orange zest in the next test batch. Maybe use all honey and actually make it a melomel, a fruit wine. And use orange blossom honey. Not the clover that I use, but use orange blossom honey. Mix it with and some brown sugar to give it that vanilla maple kind of hint to it. So I have an idea what I want to do for the next batch. But this, I think I will back sweeten with dark brown sugar. And what I'll do is I'll take and pour some of the wine out of the bottle and mix it probably with, I'm going to say probably a quarter to a third cup unpacked brown sugar. Mix it really well. And then throw it back in and finish the off-gassing with it. And maybe throw a strip. I'll use a vegetable peeler and get a nice, maybe mandarin orange, and get a nice strip of peel for every wine bottle and put it in that. That's what I think I'll do, because I know what the essence of a mandarin peel in a bottle will do. I know that the flavor it will impart, or should be imparting. I'll put it that way. Yeah, I think mandarin would go good with this, and probably some sweet. I'll have to go to an Asian store and probably pick up. I'd probably add the cup and 3/4 of juice that I got of lemon. I would probably add maybe half a cup of ponzu lemons or limes. Ponzu limes from the Asian store, and maybe just a small tiny just one like strip, nice little healthy strip in the main fermenter of that rind, in the main fermentation, and then strain and rack everything off of it. Yeah, I think I have my recipe for the second 1 gallon batch, which I'll do from the lemons out there. And I'll have to get me a mandarin orange. Probably 2. I'll get me 2. No. I'll get half a dozen mandarins for when I go to bottle and start my second 1 gallon batch of it, and make more a citrus wine instead of a just lemon wine. The lemon and lime will definitely get that lemony part out, and then adding that mandarin and just that mandarin strip to the main fermentation and one strip of the ponzu rind, and adding the ponzu lime will give it a little bit of a nice little light, sweet, citrusy flavor to it. and instead of white sugar, I'll use brown sugar. And then I'll probably still go 3/4 with brown sugar instead of the white. And when I do the initial must, and I think I'll add once again another a pound and a half of orange blossom honey, not clover, but orange blossom honey to the must itself, and shake that up. Maybe 2 pounds, maybe 2 pounds. But I like it being at 12%. I'd be okay with 14 because that just keeps it from being able to turn into vinegar later. But oh wow, look at the sun's coming through. Oh, sun's coming through. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? That is just pretty. That is pretty. I'm not going to clarify it. I don't need to. But I guarantee the 2 bottles I'm going to put away for a year will definitely clear out, and I'll have sediment from it. But yep. So I think I'm done. We're at 26.5 minutes here, and I should probably get going and get this uploaded, hopefully. So, cheers, as always. That's going to be good. That's going to be a good one. But it can be better. As always, be good, be kind. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Share this. Get this out there. Help me out. Get more viewers and that kind of good stuff. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. Happy Yule. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate during this time of year. Wear your mask for humanity. Keep yourself safe. Keep yourself warm. Happy. Love your loved ones, including your enemies. Tolerate them. And we'll see you on the next one. Be good, be kind, Team Beast. All the way.